To continue the conversation on teacher formation, we turn to the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia in Nashville, Tennessee, otherwise known as the Nashville Dominicans, a religious congregation that's been dedicated to Catholic education for more than 160 years. A member of that congregation, Sister Mary Agnes Greiffendorf, is director of the Institute for the Transformation of Catholic Education at the Catholic University of America, which promotes the renewal and transformation of Catholic grade schools. Sister, it's so great to have you with us. Let's start with your work for the Institute. How do you help teachers in Catholic schools, and what kind of resources do you provide for them?
Okay, so thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. This Institute for the Transformation of Catholic Education just started in October of 2021, so we're not a full year old. But our aim is to help promote the total renewal of Catholic education by specifically focusing on spiritual renewal, cultural renewal, intellectual renewal, and operational renewal. We do that through 4 ways of teacher formation, leader formation, program of accreditation for K-12 Catholic schools, and research. And so in the formation of teachers, we are working on program development for degree programs, for professional development programs, and we have on our website some resources that are for free professional development for Catholic school teachers.
That's fantastic. You say that you're not even a year old, but already you're doing so much. Are Catholic schools that far off the mark that they need this institute? How bad is it?
That's a great question. I think it's not so much a matter of how bad Catholic schools are, as it is about the response of Catholic education to the contemporary culture and to the needs of the present moment. So I think our Catholic education has been around since the very beginning. Jesus gave a mandate, go teach all nations. And so since then, it has inspired such a tremendous network of education throughout the world in the past 2,000 years. And each era faces its own challenges. And I think in our own time, in our own country, our Catholic schools need support to be able to help them really help their students to understand what it means to be human, what it means to be created in God's image and likeness, what it means to have inherent dignity and worth as a child of God, and not because of anything that they do or achieve. And so Catholic education is a truly human formation that really prepares students not only for life in this world, but in the next. And so this institute really aims at helping those Catholic schools, our K-12 system throughout the country, to be all that they can be and being able to provide the support and the education that really is needed for children today, that equips them for life in this world and ultimately in the next, and for a life of joy and eternal happiness with God in heaven.
That's right, because heaven is the goal. Sister Mary Greiffendorf, you mentioned accreditation, and I know that that's an issue that responds to this cultural moment. Why accreditation? Why is that so important to address?
Absolutely. So what accreditation really does in a nutshell, it's an external review process. It's a quality assurance process that helps the school really align to its goals and to help to being excellent in every way. And so the challenge for the contemporary time is that most of our Catholic schools are accredited by secular agencies. And obviously that's a huge problem, because if you're aligning to a model of excellence that doesn't align to our vision of the human person, our vision of the fullness of what education can be, about the moral and spiritual formation of our children, then it's going to be an education that's going to be flawed. And so accreditation is a great opportunity. It is something the Catholic University used to do and has not done for the past 50 years. And so we are really taking up that great work of helping to provide a framework of excellence for Catholic schools, and then the supports and the resources to attain that distinctive excellence for Catholic education.
That's really important to revive some of the things that the church used to do that they need to do again in this moment. Let's talk about your order. The Dominican Order is dedicated to the apostolate of preaching and teaching. Why such an emphasis on education?
Okay, absolutely. So St. Dominic was a Spaniard. He founded the Order of Preachers over 800 years ago. And he founded it in response to witnessing the ravages of heresy. He went on an apostolic journey. And he saw a tremendous outbreak of the Albigensian heresy in southern France, which was a dualistic idea that the spiritual is good, matter's bad. And so a lot of people were leaving the church and had really lost sight of their ultimate worth and dignity and their humanity. And so St. Dominic wanted to found an order of preachers that would be specifically devoted to preaching and the salvation of souls. And he did something unique, though, in religious life, that he wanted study to be a constitutive element of that religious life, because he wanted preachers sent out who could speak to their contemporaries to help them understand the reconciliation of faith and reason, and to help them to know and come to know the fullness of the truth. And so that's why throughout the 800 years of history, study and education have been a huge part of the Dominican Order, because that is what we were founded for: preaching and the salvation of souls, to help bring souls to know Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, and the life.
That's beautiful. There is a papal exhortation, Evangelii Nunciati, an exhortation to the faithful that translates into "in proclaiming the gospel." Pope Paul VI wrote that the modern man listens more willingly to witnesses than to teachers. And if he does listen to teachers, it's because they are witnesses. How do we form teachers to be witnesses to their students? And does your order specifically do something special to bring the sisters and to teach you how to be witnesses rather than just teachers?
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, as religious, the tremendous gift of being able to be a religious with the apostolate of Catholic education is that we live a life of intense personal discipleship and of close, intimate union with Christ. And the beauty of that intimacy with Christ is something then that spills over into our classroom. It spills over into our interaction with our students. It spills over into the way that we can introduce students, not to a subject, but to a person, to Jesus Christ. And so the challenge that our church faces is the formation of teachers who are indeed able to be those witnesses of the gospel, that can introduce Jesus to their students because they themselves know him. And so the church documents often speak of the importance, and they say that actually the nobility of the teaching vocation is extraordinary because the schools cannot reach their goals apart from the teachers. The integration of faith and knowledge and faith and life happens in the person of the teacher witness to the students. And so part of what we do through our programs at ITCE, part of what my own Dominican congregation does and all of the schools where we serve, is we really want to be first and foremost witnesses of the love of Jesus Christ, that we want to bring to everyone we encounter the love that we have first received from God, and to share that with them. And so that is certainly something that, as we build out the programs at ITCE at the Catholic University, really working to find ways that we can form committed apostolic disciples who can be in our classrooms and can really help set hearts on fire with the love of the gospel.
That's beautiful, and it's going to change education. Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you.